You know what? We're live, actually.
Are we live?
Surprise.
Why do you think it was that we didn't receive a bunch of comments on scoring, Mark?
You know what? Come on, Revolution golfers. It's so funny. Welcome to the scoring video. And we've got some questions, but everybody wants power sauce.
Everyone wants to hit it longer, and we get that. Certainly the game is easier when played from closer to the green.
But how about, so you're Jim Waldron, and you just hit a 390-yard drive, and you have this shot to this pin right here.
Little pitchy one.
I know, you still
We've
have
got
to
get it up and down.
You got to get it from here to there, or what's the use of this?
Otherwise, it's a waste.
It totally is.
Yeah. You may as well be you and I.
So the interesting thing that cracks me up, if somebody said, Martin, I'll give you $1,000 for every stroke you reduce my handicap, this is the first place I'd start, right here. I'll probably show them how to hit little putts first.
For sure.
But if I can get you converting this little wedge shot, because honestly, to smash a driver and get it way down the fairway, that's awesome, and I know it's sexy and you want to do that, but let's get you being able to hit these effective wedge shots to the pin. And right now we've got a 42-yard pitch shot, give or take, right? I didn't measure, but I'm just eyeballing it right there. So what do you say we get to the questions?
Here we go.
So let's take a look. The first question, Chris from Orlando, okay, and I think I actually know this Chris. So Chris is terrified of this wedge shot. The interesting thing is, what do you think he's been told? And I actually know this fella, and I've seen him hit a golf shot, and when he steps over a golf ball, it looks something like this. He's been taught to keep his head, what, Andrew?
Down.
So he's got this look. He is winning the award for staying down. I mean, he wins.
Sure. He doesn't see his shots. He doesn't see where the ball goes.
He keeps it down so much it's crazy. If I hit a little shot to this pin, and I would hate to hole the first one in the show, but let's see how we do.
It would be kind of nice. Nice low spinning.
Oh, my towards was off, and I should have read the break a little bit better. But the technique was nice, right?
It was a lovely strike.
Yeah, no, it was a good strike. And so Revolution golfers, I mean, you've seen me do this countless times. What's my body doing through this strike? My body is, rotating, relocating, getting taller with structure. This club is traveling very shallow, brushing the grass, collecting the ball with loft and pressing it toward the hole. The last thing I'm trying to do is stare at the golf ball and move a golf club, quote, keeping my head down. In fact, I always say in my golf school, I'll never tell you to keep your head down except for 1 second when you hit a putt, and that's about it.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm with you, Paz.
And especially like the master class, some of the flexibility, 47, you're a little bit, what are you, my age, 47?
Yep.
47, yeah. Yep. So, it's one thing to be able to keep your head down and extend and do all these things you need to hit these great shots, but the reality is you're much better off realizing that in order to transport this golf club, if you allow your face just to follow every bit of the flight of the golf ball, and I know that's counter to what you were taught by your Uncle Ed and the friends at the country club, because every time you miss, what do you hear? Oh, you peaked, or you lifted your head. Rubbish, as Martin Hall would say, right? We need to rotate and relocate our body with structure, and you're going to hit some great shots. So Chris, thanks for the question. Don't keep your head down, mate. Let's talk about how to set up nicely with structure, how to rotate that structure. And you've done the wedge project, right? Yeah. So let's get into that. Let me find it. Let's talk some wedge project stuff right here.
Martin, my findings have been that when players attempt this shot, they typically misstrike it.
Sure.
And that could come in the form of a thin shot or a heavy fat shot where the club gets into the ground too much. And so a great approach, in my opinion, is how can we get the sole of the club to just skim along the ground? And a great way to do that is exactly what you've just been saying, is to make sure that you've got a good setup. And let's talk about setup for a minute, because I think there's been so much misinformation peddled by the golf instruction community regarding how to set up to play these little chippy, pitchy shots. And it doesn't really matter if it's a chip or a pitch, the same thing applies. So what I'd like to see is a relatively narrow setup, club head and a half width apart.
Yep.
The ball is positioned centrally to slightly forward. My weight is 55-45, and I'm square to my target. I'm not a big fan of players standing open. In my opinion, that
Me
tends
too.
to get them in front of the golf ball, the ball back, and they're more likely to get the club head stuck in the ground. They're more likely to hit down. So narrow stance, ball center to a little forward, weight just ever so slightly forward, square alignment, and now the sense is let's get that lead side for both of us, Martin, certainly our left side, rotating up and around as we go through to hit this golf shot.
Absolutely.
That's what's going to help the club skim along the ground. I'm going to aim this a little bit more left than you did. Let's see. Here we go.
There you go. Lovely shot. Go, 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 go. Nice shot.
We
Okay,
gotta
so
give
that's
it a little
okay.
more gas.
So David Harthen, University of Minnesota, on a short pitch
Golden
shot.
Gophers.
Yeah, that's it. Golden Gophers. On a short pitch shot from a tight lie,
Ooh, that's pretty
do
much
you
what we
hit the
got.
ball first or behind the ball?
And it's an interesting question, and I think I responded to this on Facebook. I really do like that question because here's what I would like for everybody to think about. Our objective is to hit the ball first and the ground second. However, we need to comprehend and intellectually understand that the club is going to skim the ground prior to contacting the ball.
Absolutely.
It's going to, like a plane landing on a runway, it's going to land before the golf ball, run along the runway, skim underneath the golf ball, and then take off again. Okay, so the club is going to, in actual fact, contact the ground prior to getting to the golf ball.
Yeah, it knocks over some of the taller grass as the club travels shallowly. It brushes, the ball gets collected, there might be a mild exchange.
Yep.
But basically you are going to brush the grass fractionally before you hit the golf ball.
And you know, Martin, that shot that I just hit, that was a pretty good shot. I certainly didn't take a divot. It had a good strike to it. But if you actually take a, I'll come closer, if you actually take a nice close look, you can see that I managed to collect some grass between the face and the golf ball there.
But you didn't hit it fat.
I didn't hit it fat, but that's an indicator that the club's getting to the ground prior to the golf ball.
Absolutely.
Okay, so yes, we need to acknowledge that that happens. We don't want to try to make that happen, but let's just understand that. And every now and then when we hit a shot that launches a little bit higher and doesn't have quite enough spin, we'll be able to go, ha, that green slime on the face has worked and almost acted as if it's a lubricant, and that's elevated the launch and reduced the spin.
Let me scroll through here. There's a great question about spin. Yes. Where is it? Oh, Glenn Mogford. He's actually been to a golf school before. So Glenn says, you know, how do you pros,
Hope you're watching, Glenn.
how do you pros hit those spinny pitch shots? I love this question because, you know, it's so funny for me from this. I kind of know it's going to spin, right? Because my club's clean for one thing.
Yep.
And
We've got premium golf balls.
Yeah, I've got good golf balls. The ball gets collected out of the middle of the face, not way in the heel or way in the toe. You know, I don't have a steep angle attack where I'm sticking the club in the ground. And so through the proper delivery, the byproduct, when the club face is clean and you have a nice golf ball, is you get a nice spinny shot that you can trust will go and put the brakes on. Is it, did we make a deal with the devil to do that?
No.
No, of course
No.
not.
I said this in the golf school today, Martin. I said, the golf ball doesn't know who we are.
No.
It doesn't know that.
I always joke
I'm
and
not a
say
tour
that
player.
I have special golf balls.
Yeah, with special order straight from the factory.
You can't get
Come
them.
in white boxes.
Right,
No
exact-
logo.
No logo.
No, and that's not the case. It's metal running into the golf ball. And if
Absolutely.
you're using a premium golf ball, you've got a clean club face and you're making clean contact between that face and the premium golf ball, you're going to hit low launching, high spinning, one hop stop type pitch shots.
Right, right. So,
Fact.
I mean, so some of the fun facts, and I always say, and you know that I always wear out the word structure. Can't help it, right? Because people get into these shots, and we have this 40-yarder, and they want to get in their comfortable spot right here, and their math is poor. Their setup math is poor. So I'm a fan of saying, okay, let's get these arms out in front of us. Let's create a radius that makes sense, that we can we feel is somewhat reliable, and then in this condition we can deliver that radius to the golf ball. And I hit that a little too firm, but that was a nice crisp strike again. So there is structure, and that structure is being delivered. The metal hits the ball came out of the middle of the face with appropriate spin. It's just a factor of having some of these things set up properly and being delivered. It's not secret sauce. It's just things that we coach every day in the golf school. Let's get the math proper, let's get the shallowness, and let's transport this golf club, collect the ball out of the middle of the face. You'll get plenty of spin.
For sure, for sure.
With a low launching flight.
And Martin, that, it's almost a byproduct, and this is something we talk about in Champions Masterclass, is spin is a byproduct of doing things properly.
Right.
It's not as if there's a special technique that spins the golf ball. It's doing things properly and having a towel and keeping their club face clean and using premium balls. Having good technique that's actually going to make it easier to execute these shots. That's really what it's about, and that's a big thing that we talk about in the Champions Masterclass, is how can we make these shots, all these variety of shots around the green, easier?
Absolutely. Coming in, Pards.
Come on down. The water's lovely.
Awesome. Join us. We got this, I'd say, a pretty stock bunker shot.
Certainly.
So go ahead and hit one, partner, and tell me what you're feeling.
So my keys, everybody, for hitting these bunker shots, I like to focus on 3 keys, and I'm going to cheat a little bit and draw a line in the sand.
Excellent.
Because I think we need to shoot for 3 things. We need to hit our target, and bunker shots are different to all other shots in golf in that our objective is not to hit the golf ball. The target of our swing is to get the club to make first contact with that sand somewhere 2 to 4 inches behind the golf ball. Second, we need speed. Third, we need loft.
Need loft, absolutely.
Okay? So to me, when it comes to hitting a bunker shot, certainly a greenside bunker shot, it's all about getting yourself set up properly and having the right approach. The right approach is hitting the line. Let's talk about setting up properly. Once again, a fan of square. I like a driver width stance.
Wide stance for this shot.
Wide stance.
Yeah.
I want my weight 75-25, really favoring that front foot. I like the ball, as you can tell from up there, hopefully, the ball to be positioned forward in my stance. And I like that I've got a striped shirt on today, because this is key, in my opinion, is getting the lines on your shirt level with the incline that you're standing on.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Not what do we see too much.
I see tons of this, and invariably this is somebody who's struggling to get the ball out of the bunker.
Yeah.
Because they're back here and they're going to hit the sand pre-target.
Yeah.
And try to hoist this ball up out of the sand.
We have that a lot today in the golf school, and it's a common thing. You just see, everybody sets up, and then you see the last minute where their upper mass rocks back, and they try to help the ball up, and lo and behold, they either miss the sand altogether and rocket one over the green, or they hit too far behind and they don't have enough momentum to move the ball appropriately.
Let's give it a shot.
Yeah.
So once you've got yourself set up, it's a relatively full backswing. Now,
yeah,
an important point to note, I think, Martin, is that from this position, it may not look like a full backswing, but that is as far as I can take it back from this setup. Okay, so that's important to understand. It might not appear to be full, but it certainly feels full to me.
But let me ask you, I know it's full,
yeah,
but you're not trying to hit it 250 yards.
That's the difference. Okay, that's the difference. I need a full backswing, but I'm going to regulate the distance that this ball travels with the length of my follow through.
Absolutely.
And that's the important thing to keep in mind. Okay.
Yep.
The length of the follow through. I see people when they try to hit these short little shots, they'll get in here, they'll set up nicely, and then they'll try to almost chip it out of there. And that's we've all tried it, haven't we? I'm sure you've tried it. It just is not going to work.
Right. You need to have an ability to get the club high enough to where you have some speed to where you can either use it if you want it or cut it off if you need to hit a short shot. I did the bunker sessions today with a group, right? So stepping in to hit a shot, so we're basically talking the same thing. If I was going to hit a full shot to this pin right here, so my weight's at 75-25 in my flex lead leg. So what's the distance of this swing for this 20-yard bunker shot?
There we go.
Yeah. So nice little shot. I think I can negotiate that one and make my par.
I think you
So that backswing, like Andrew says, that's a pretty full backswing with a club head that got up pretty high. Now say I was just trying to hit it out of a bunker and hit it a couple of yards. Say the grass was right here and I wanted to land it there. Am I going to take a tiny little backswing to do that? Absolutely not. If I was going to hit a 2-yard bunker shot, it's going to look, and there's a beautiful
Very
2-yard
nice.
bunker shot.
Very nice. That was
Right?
good. Yeah.
So there was a lot of club head travel. And remember, you get to use this momentum, and then if you want, you can let your pivot help you accelerate it for different shots, or you can just let it go thump and hit a short little shot. The worst thing, we see this all the time, is that itty bitty and then over acceleration.
Yeah.
You know, and if you want to watch something cool, Fred Couples in a bunker is magic.
Fabulous.
You know, he takes it to
That's
the
the
top
club.
and he almost stops. And then tell me from here that there isn't down in every swing. There goes the club downward. Now as it's working downward, if I want to use and rotate and use that energy, I'm going to use it. If I want to saw it off and hit a shorty, I'm going to saw it off and hit a shorty.
Yeah.
You know?
For sure. You know, Martin, and tell me what you think about this, but when I get a golfer in the bunker, my objective with them is to take them from the level that they're currently at and help them get to the next level. So some of you might be fabulous bunker players and feel like that's not a part of the game where you need a lot of help, but I know there are many of you out there who, when you get in a bunker, are going, please just let me get out.
Right.
Okay, and so how can we get those people who really have this anxiety attack almost when they get down in the sand
Sure.
to go, oh, you know, this is kind of the end of my hole, it's what I'm going to do. My experience, and a great way to approach this, is to go, I see a lot of people who, when they hit bunker shots, they might set up nicely, but they really use a lot of body to try to help the ball up and out.
You
lot
know
of that
it.
velocity and energy. And I think if I could get golfers just to understand what I'm going to do, I've got my setup, and I'm going to hit this shot, and I'm just going to swing my arms here.
Yep.
Okay, a little off balance, but just swinging my arms, I can get the ball out every time. Okay, so I'm set up here, and I'm just going to go with a nice soft arm swing. Watch my legs, watch my feet here.
You know it. And even to the, how about this?
So simple.
And we go through this in the Champions Masterclass a ton. So, you know, at the Revolution, at these schools, and Andrew's school and my school, if I'm going to hit a one-arm bunker shot, it's not because I have a massively strong Herculean arm. It's
Well,
because I
you kinda
understand.
do that.
It's because I understand the momentum. You know how to move the golf club, and you know, typically I'm going to get that ball up and out of there. I just mishit that one. But you guys need to understand the inertia, the feeling of weight of the club, and how that club moves. And in doing so, you can get pretty decent at making this ball get pretty close to the
I'm
cup.
going to round up a couple of balls here, Martin. Let's talk about a shot that's a little closer to the green.
Yeah, for sure. Come on up.
Wrap up bunker. In all different. Let's hit some out of this Bermuda rough. What do you say? Okay.
You know it.
So hitting a couple out of the Bermuda rough, and you know, Martin, what kind of grass do you have in Arizona?
We have ryegrass in the wintertime, Bermuda grass in the summertime. So they overseed with winter rye, and it's lovely.
You get that, and I know there's a large percentage of you who are watching who certainly get to deal with this wiry Bermuda grass.
Right.
And even if you don't, there's a lot you can take from it. My experience, Martin, with Bermuda grass is there seem to be, you know, and here's a classic situation. We've got 25 feet from the pin. We've hit a decent approach shot. We've just missed the green. We're in this,
Oof.
it's not even that long, but it really is penal. You can see how the ball really vanishes as it drops down. There it goes.
The
Drops
bird's
down in
nest.
there. But my experience with Bermuda grass lies is there are typically 3 types of lies. And I call them the good, the bad, and the ugly. Okay? And so we've got, I'm going to go the good. Well, stay there. I need something. There's the bad. And there's the ugly. Okay? So for the good one, certainly it would be our preferred option. Because the ball's sitting up on top of the Bermuda grass. But the one thing to keep in mind when you're playing this shot, and I do think we go over this in Champions Masterclass, is that ball is sitting on a tee that's about this high in the air, and it's
Absolutely.
very easy to go underneath it.
That earth is way down there.
Way down there. So when you're taking your practice swings in preparation for this shot, I don't want to go too close to that ball because those blades that are supporting it might move and the ball might topple down into the grass, depending on who you're playing with, if that's going to be a penalty or not.
Playing with my buddies, it's a penalty.
Yeah. So I'm just going to make some practice swings there and just clip the tops of the grass. So I'm going to hit these 3 shots. And so here's the good. Clint Eastwood, the good. And what I'm looking for there...
Good shot.
What I'm looking for there is a nice, crisp, clean strike where I get no grass between the ball and the face. The second shot that I'm going to undertake is the ugly. Okay, and what's going to happen here is, imagine if you had a head cover for your wedge and you were going to attempt to chip a ball off the fairway with the head cover still on your wedge. That ball's going to come out of there dead as a doornail. Okay,
And how much spin's going to come on it?
it's going to have little to no spin. I mean, it's going to have some spin, but very, very little.
Right, so anticipate that rollout.
Sure. So here what I need to do is, yes, I've got my head cover left on the club. I need to, as a result, impart a little bit more energy into the back of the golf ball. So I'm going to set up in a similar fashion that we spoke about with that pitch shot, and
Very nice. Well played.
I'll take that all day.
All day. You know
2
it.
for 2 up and downs.
And run away from that. That
Yeah.
was so good. But how about the attack angle?
Attack angle was definitely a little bit more down.
Yeah.
Okay, definitely a little bit more down. I think you may have even been able to detect that my stance might have just veered a touch open. The ball might have been a nudge more back as I just got the club working slightly more high to low so that I could avoid gathering up a lot of that head cover grass between the face and the ball and just getting some energy into the back of the ball.
Absolutely.
Okay. Here's the challenging one, the bad. Okay, in that, as I step up to this lie, I'm thinking to myself, oh, this is a great lie, and hopefully you can see it nicely, but that ball is partially perched on the grass, and what's going to happen here is, who knows? And what we've got to do as the golfer is we've got to decide, is this ball going to come out of there cleanly where I get the ball crisply on the face, or is it going to come out with that kind of head cover sensation? So Martin, I'm going to make a call.
Yep.
I'm going to see if I can go 3 for 3 here. This is that in-betweener lie that's so challenging out of Bermuda grass. And I'm going to say that on this lie, I'm going to get it cleanly.
Okay.
So the ball's going to come out of there nice and cleanly. Let's see. Little bumbler. Oh, and you heard it.
Oh, it was nice.
Come on, baby. Thank you. That's it.
Good shot.
Okay. You could hear the crispness to the strike.
Right. So
Okay.
you made a call. The call was correct naturally.
Yep.
Not naturally. I mean, sometimes we miss hit these shots.
I'm wrong a lot. Just ask my wife.
Just exactly. So, that was the good, the bad, and the ugly. So now you've got a little different lie right here. We've got a condition where, you've missed the green. Now, honestly, if my bag wasn't clear down over there 40 yards, I would putt this ball every single day. So
And I would scold you if you
putt it when you can putt it. Now, what happens if you get this situation? You get a ball that rolled across the green maybe, and it's rolled up against this cut.
That's a testy one.
Isn't that a testy one? So, this is a situation where I've seen some people put the ball back and try to avoid hitting the grass. I actually like to belly this one a little bit.
Love it.
I set up to where I'm going to take a couple practice strokes, and I'm really putting this because I'm going to take the leading edge of this golf club into the equator of the golf ball with pretty much a putt stroke, and hopefully have the correct weight on this. Let's see how we do. And man, I hit that too hard, but that's the technique that we need to roll this ball. Even though I hit that too hard, it's all about odds in this game, and that is, you've got to play the right odds, and that is the correct shot for this particular shot, even though I hit it too hard and I have a hard time making that comebacker.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've got to know what to do, and this is where that shot's not something I practice too often, to be candid, or I probably would have done a better job there.
Yeah.
But when the ball rolls up against that kind of a condition, next time you're at your practice green, roll it up there and hit a few of those and see how you do. Hopefully you do a little bit better than that so you don't have the 15-footer coming back.
You know, Martin, and the cool thing about what we've spoken about thus far, addressing these scoring shots, is we've got to adapt. We've got to be creative. We've got to be able to interpret what each of these shots is calling for.
Right.
And I think, you know, one of the things we address in Champions Masterclass is how to practice and how to just become a better golfer. And that's really what we're after here, is talking about a variety of different shots. And, you know, I had 3 of the same shots there, exact same distance from the hole, but it was the lie that predicated how I approached each one of them.
Right.
You know, and being able to interpret that, it takes time. But in your practice, if you can incorporate some of that into your practice, it's really going to help.
Right, and that's skill development. We talk about that in Champions Masterclass. I mean, everybody wants technique, technique, technique when they come to the golf school.
Yeah.
And then we try to say, you know what? We will give you technique. We're going to help you fix things. We want to inspire you as a golfer to develop your skill. Can you be creative? Can you did as beautifully as Andrew did with these 3, the good, the bad, the ugly, hitting these all like gimmies and hold one? And then can you understand that and accept that in a round of golf you're going to have all these funny little things around the green that maybe you deserve or maybe you don't, but can you accept it, make the right call, have enough technique right here that you can pull it out, and creativity, you know, with your creative mind, hit a reasonable shot.
Sure. So, scoring, you know, hitting these short shots around the green, Martin, it's a plethora of different situations. We may have the exact same distance to the pin and need to play the shot a multitude of different ways.
Absolutely.
And how good are we and how are we practicing to be able to become good at as many of those different ways as possible?
So I think in the questions you could see the theme. There's a lot of ways you can play these shots. In the Champions Masterclass we go over a variety of these to help you, a golfer, understand the best way for you to get the ball from around here, the bunker, from in front of the green, get it close to the hole to where you convert your up and downs. Worst, get it on the green and 2-putt and move on.
Sure. So many people are, hey, if they could just take 3
rather than, yeah,
from
exactly.
close range, they would be in good shape.
So, partner, our time is up. So thanks, pal.
Getting the word. Thanks, bud.
Revolution Golfers, it's been a pleasure. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate your time watching these programs, and thanks for sending your questions. And remember, ask more questions. Send them in. We love getting them. You get a chance to win some cool stuff. We're giving away a golf school each, and we've got some great gift packages from Cobra. And why not ask questions and win stuff?
Come on. You know you can do it.
We'll see
Check
you.
back with us tomorrow. Hi, Revolution Golfers. Andrew Rice here with my good buddy Martin Chuck,
Great to be with you,
the
pal.
tour striker himself.
And we are excited. You know, we've been teaching 30, I mean, it's been a long, long time. We've been on Revolution
has
Golf
been a long time.
well, I've been on 5.5 years now, and you've been 2+.
Yep.
And it's been our sincere pleasure to help you improve your game. And I know that I've answered, and this is kind of ridiculous, and my wife gets on me because the laptop's open and I'm pounding away on that thing answering questions. Over 25,000, I dare say 27,000 questions from Revolution Golfers. Isn't that crazy?
That is a lot. That is a lot. I'm nowhere near that.
But I gotta say, I'm a nerd and I love it. I love helping you guys play better golf. And we've developed a program called the Champions Master Class, and it's a culmination of our experience. And I can tell you, this guy to my left is an amazing, caring coach, and my goal is to be the same way, to try to educate you so that you can play your best golf. And we've put together a 4 DVD package with a bonus. And the bonus is mildly embarrassing for me, but we'll have to, that's something
you're going to have to get it to see it.
You're going to have to watch it. But the point is, you know, I thought, how nice would it be to work with Andrew, my buddy, who I respect immensely as a coach, to get together and just say, hey, listen, this is what we see with the Revolution Golfers through all these camps, and the people watching and coming to these schools, it's funny how it's the same theme of improvement they need.
And we see that time and time again, Revolution Golfers, is that there definitely are patterns, and there are things that you're doing in your golf game that people all over the world, really, because we've had people from everywhere come to our golf schools.
It's been
people
awesome.
all over the world are struggling with, and so this is a compilation of our experience over the years working with thousands of Revolution golfers, saying, hey, how can we help you hit it longer? How can we help you pitch the ball better, score better, control
Strike
your ball
your
flight.
irons.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, you know, we put this together, we're proud of it. And then, of course, Revolution Golf, they back it with a 365-day money-back guarantee. I mean, you can watch it for 364 days, and if you don't like it, they'll give you your money back. So we're proud of it. We want you to take a look at the Champions Master Class. We put our energy into it. We feel it's a great product. It's going to help you play better golf.
Take a look. We really believe it's going to help to make the game easier for you, and that's what it's all about. It's specially directed at you, the seasoned veteran golfer. You know what you're doing, you've been out there, you feel like your body is perhaps letting you down, you're looking to get more out of it. This is exactly for you.
Okay, so you want to hit it farther, you want to hit it a little bit more crisp, you want to score better around the greens. This is a program we built for you. Take advantage of this early bird special now. Let us know you're interested. We'd really appreciate it. I think you're going to love the content. Thanks for watching.